How do you?
How do you?
How do you? I think, like, I don't know. I'm always prefer the cold. So I think all the warm is always more warm.
Yeah.
I guess I'm used to.
It's just the front of the house. It's hot.
Front.
This is where the sun shines on it all day. If we're in the back, it'd be all right.
You want to go to the back?
No. No, it's just taking fucking 40 minutes to set this shit up.
There's a bath in the back. Podcast from a bath. Oh, then did you move it, you said?
Yeah, I got rid of that.
You got rid of it?
It's in the shed, so it's further back.
All the way back. And you hit the bath.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking episode 200.
Yeah. It feels
Pretty
like
big.
an accomplishment. I've not really done anything for it.
Don't know what the accomplishment would be.
Yeah.
But it feels
We've been
like
here
it.
200 times.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't been here.
Yeah, but we've been in a few different places where we started at mine, then went into
And at mine.
parents,
Yeah. Well, my folks'
nephew's,
place.
your
yeah.
nephew's room,
Yeah.
and then to here, mine, and here again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
traveling around.
Travelling. Never
Went
left Stoke. Well, we did, but we didn't get anything done.
Yeah, we did, and then the car park ate my car.
Yeah.
and then that was
Yeah.
kind of it.
Mm.
But yeah, it's nice to be back in person as we were
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah.
It's good. I think it's different. It took a while to get used to it. I was a bit overwhelmed with all your chilies and your carrots and your shark
Yeah.
flies.
Incidentally, there's chilies on them now.
Oh, they've grown now. haven't they?
Yeah.
Since I've come here,
You encouraged them.
they've started.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we best show ourselves.
Yeah, that whole stupid thing of like, oh, I'm going to prove him wrong, which I've never understood. I don't have that drive of, oh yeah, I'll show you.
Yeah.
I don't have that because I go like, I don't respect you, so I'm not gonna. Why would I want to impress you? I don't know.
Yeah.
But loads of people have that, or say that's their motivating factor.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know, my hamster doesn't believe I can do a double flip. I'll show,
Show
him.
him.
So yeah, episode 200. I think it's
Yeah.
quite an accomplishment, to be fair. If you put into perspective how unaccomplished with regular creative outlets we are, I think it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I think I still enjoy the podcast as well. I think there's still like moments where like I'm still watching back and I'm laughing.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that it's a funny show, but it's like, well, I find it funny and I enjoy it.
That's kind of all we needed.
Yeah, I think just trying to prove. I think the 200 benchmark has been a point where it's time to look back. I think and
Yeah.
be like, how could we improve? What do we need to? We're wearing small socks.
Yeah.
Yeah, just ankle.
You're wearing
high
no socks.
I'm not wearing shoes, mate.
No,
I'm
am I?
making a statement. I haven't worn shoes at all.
Oh, have you not?
No.
Right. So it's just
200.
standard fare from the cinema for you. then, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I was speaking to a friend. Like, I was speaking to somebody who likes to wear flip flops, and I can't understand flip flops.
I've tried. They're just uncomfortable.
Yeah, and just go barefoot. I think the thing with barefoot is it takes a while to build up the callus or whatever.
Yeah, I can't walk on like gravel and shit like that. Like,
Yeah,
that-
I can, but it's not. I think because I've done it for years.
Yeah.
And like when I say years, like when I was a kid, I used to rather be barefoot anyway on stone and stuff. After a while, you just get more used to it. It's still
Yeah.
not the most comfortable, but I still prefer it.
Yeah.
So I think it's just I think that's all that is. But I've never understood ankle high socks.
No, it's for trainers.
Yeah, but apparently it's to show to give the illusion that you're not wearing socks. Is that true?
Well, I just think it looks stupid if you're wearing trainers and you've got socks coming like up your leg.
So therefore, why don't you go barefoot?
Because if I go barefoot in
You'll become
shoes,
stronger, more agile,
well, you sweat into them and they reek.
sweat into your feet.
No, into your shoes.
Right, so why don't you therefore go barefoot? And no shoes is what I'm saying.
Right.
Don't take your shoes.
Right.
Just run barefoot.
I'm not an animal.
Yes, you are. Stop trying to hide away. I'm better than a stag beetle. A bison.
Not better. just
I
just different.
Prefer more shoe than a bison.
Yeah.
No, I think if a bison can do it, if a bison can rub up against a tree, I think that's a challenge.
Why don't you just be like a horse instead of wearing shoes?
Wear a
Just
tail.
nail them to your feet.
Making a point. Yeah. This is stop rot, isn't it, in a horseshoe?
I don't know. I
think so.
Just to stop them damaging their hooves. But I was like, how
Rot.
delicate are their hooves? Like they're
Yeah.
used to knocking about on with no shoes on.
Yeah, but not on like roads and shit.
Right.
Oh,
So
not an interesting fact, but an interesting fact that I thought was funny.
yeah.
Well, not funny, but you know, you see like old artwork of old horse-drawn roads.
Yeah.
Where it's like a grass thing in the middle and then the path on the other side. Apparently it's complete bollocks because horses would be in the middle, and horses trample the shit out of everything.
Yeah.
So history is lies.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh,
200.
That's ruined a lot of paintings for me.
Yeah.
A few plates.
Yeah, but maybe bison came along and tried to rejuvenate the habitat.
Yeah.
I feel like bison's going to be... Unfortunately, I think bison has become a more present threat.
Than
and something
horses.
we're going to have to regard on the podcast more often. I get a feeling that they're going to expand.
Bison fact.
Just slowly encroaches and ruins your trees.
Yeah.
Then just rare butterflies come out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bison have always been interesting to me. I don't know why. I find it weird that they're going to be in the UK. Anyway, more on that. Where we all die.
Yeah.
Wearing your badge. It's good.
I am. Yeah. Well, I thought I should get some use out of it.
Yeah.
Just
always been on the
Steve.
side. Yeah, Steve. Just Steve. Yeah. Don't even remember what mine said. But, angry gorilla demon.
Yeah, it's because you were like, well, if you were an animal, what would you be? I'd just Steve.
Yeah. All right. It's a good old answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, fun times, I think. Been not that weird a week, to be fair. So I think not much going on.
Yeah.
Bit more socialising, bit more mask wearing. I'll be honest, I've been confused by your non-belief in masks.
Okay.
Right. And then I went to replenish my mask supply. And I realised that you can buy masks that have a label on them that say, these don't work.
What?
Right. So
Okay.
there's two types of masks. There's just a bit of cloth, and then there's like antiseptic, kills 99.9% of all bacteria that comes out of your mouth or goes towards your mouth, right?
Right.
Is that the mask that you were talking about? Or do you believe like surgical masks that they wear?
If you wear like an N95 mask with a respirator or like in it and stuff like that, like, yeah, that the mesh and whatnot in that is designed to be small enough to not let viruses through. It filters them out.
Right.
But regular like cloth masks, like
without any like
decorators
antiseptic
masks,
in it.
well, without a fucking respirator in it, like the virus, the size of a virus is far smaller than the holes in like cotton and stuff like that. So it will just get through.
Yeah,
but
isn't like
it
the idea of
stops
the
droplets getting through.
But isn't it like the idea of like the antiseptic or whatever that kills 99.9% bacteria meant to still
Potentially, but I didn't know you can get masks that had like antibacterial stuff in them.
Yeah, or antiseptic or something. That's why you get the disposable ones, is because they've got some in, but they don't last forever. So you have to. Well, that's one day.
I thought the whole point in this mask stuff was to just stop you gobbing on people.
It's probably an aspect as well. But I just remember as I was shopping, I was like, and it's like you can clearly have the option of ones that are designed and approved to prevent COVID-19, and ones that aren't.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, there must be like a massive price difference. You're like, nope, exactly the same price.
Yeah.
It's just people have got the choice of ones that don't work. So I was like, oh yeah, if there's people walking around with active these don't work masks, I'd be like, that's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
But then if there's like, well, because then you go like, well, then why do surgeons wear masks if not to prevent the contamination of a surgery? You don't want to cough. If you coughed into someone's colon, you'd be like, oh, at least I've got this mask on that's protected their colon from my cough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And then they got those gowns on, but I think that's to protect them. You know what I mean? Like splatter. Like a waiter used to wear an apron.
Yeah.
You don't want, if someone's colon coughs on you, you want to be prepared.
Colon cough.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just a weird. It's another weird thing where people keep on arguing. Because I went to pubs where it was kind of strange and restaurants where the restaurateurs and the pub goers weren't wearing masks, but the staff were.
Yeah.
And then going to like supermarkets where people were, but staff weren't. It's kind of a weird thing. But then that's that whole, if you want people to have their jobs, they're going to have to figure out how to do this kind of thing. And it's going to be some weird compromise, I guess, isn't it? It's a very weird situation. But then luckily there's a whole second thing going around that's closed and fucked up loads of businesses, and people are getting pissed off now. Like the North is closed.
Oh, yeah.
Which is apparently, and I'm not one for conspiracies, but a load of people, well, some people I've seen have gone into like the conspiracy of it's to counter the Muslim holiday of Eid. Is it Eid? EID? Eid Mubarak, I think.
Okay.
Something like that. So they closed all the you're allowed to go to pubs, you're allowed to go to restaurants, but you can't go to another person's house for a meal,
Yeah.
which I think is a big thing in Eid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eid.
Okay. There's potential in that.
Yeah, and there's stupid potential in that, as in someone go, what about Eid? Oh, okay, let's do something here. So yeah, it's interesting to see where that goes. And then I've got a family member who wants to move to Spain, specifically Barcelona, which is the center point of
The epicenter.
It's the center of the volcano of Europe.
Yeah.
Of this disease. So that'll be fun. Interesting. See how that goes.
When are they going there?
They were meant to go today.
Oh.
And then they might go next week.
Oh.
Give it a week. Maybe they'll get better.
That'll do it.
Well, yeah, I'm just like,
It's only taken 5 months.
Yeah, well, I've never been that bothered by the coronavirus and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, well, if a family member's going, you should be careful, right? You should take a week to figure out how you're going to do it properly. But yeah, it's a weird one. Interesting. You can't please everybody, so everyone's always going to be angry.
Yeah.
Oh.
The trouble is, if someone goes over there and they get it, they can't
Here's £100 you can't spend anywhere but a fucking spa. There you go. Have fun. Anybody looking to NBC or any online form, most people are selfish. And they get to a point where they give up on wanting to do for others.
Maybe.
That's why you get... It's just like... And yeah, you would learn a lot. And it would be an experience. It's easy enough for people to... accidents, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fire! Oh no.
That
Pretty
submarine's
bad.
bleeding.
Yeah. So,
A few.
yeah, there's a few in there, wasn't there?
I just yawn when it's hot.
You just yawn a lot all year round, mate. All year
When
round.
it's hot.
Bit concerned.
When it's warm.
Not just when it's warm. We've done it in winter. Yeah.
Yeah, but the room.
Oh. But you're always wanting to be warm, aren't you? So you're always...
I'm not. I don't care.
Don't care.
No. You're boring.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Oh, well...
So what's that one for?
Do you know what that means?
What?
It's time for a word from our sponsors.
Oh, God. I was wondering what the fuck that was.
You got to read to the sponsors, new sponsors.
Okay.
This week, straight to the camera.
Oh, so it's not your pension.
No. Well, this is my pension over here, but that you have to read it first time to the camera.
Okay.
And it's got to be good because it's a sponsor.
I can't read and look at the thing at the same time.
You've done some kind of acting in the
Not
past,
a lot.
haven't you?
Is it the whole thing or is it just
The whole thing.
Is it the first one?
Whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And 3, 2.
Do you suffer from opening your mouth for too long at unreasonable times of day? Why not try getting hit in the face with a duck? Oh. Getting hit in the face with a duck is an eco-friendly, organic way of keeping your mouth closed for fear of migrating waterfowl, regardless of season. All you need is a feeling of growing unease, a mouth that keeps opening during interesting stories, and an angry podcast editor with violent tendencies included in the price. Am I meant to read call to action?
That's the call to action. Bill Burr, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Getting hit in the face with a duck. It's not just for Christmas. Why have you got 2?
I was trying to think today of because I was trying to think of things to make special for episode 200.
Yeah.
We've been meaning to get sponsors for a while. Why not get a sponsor that involves you getting hit in the face with a duck? And, yeah, there's my dog's tutor. Fine. But yeah, there was a genuine thought of concern of like you yawn a lot throughout it, which is fine.
I don't think it's like a cancer thing or anything. I think it
could be a sign of something else, or like being overworked, or
it could just be tired. Yeah,
could just be tired, but
worn out.
Just
I always thought it was a heat thing.
Okay, it could be, and I agree that it probably is, but it just seems funny that when I'm editing,
how many?
like I like this. Steve's yawning. Right. Yes. Lovely. And then I've got to try and...
It's not...
Yawning is like a reflective effect or whatever it's called. Some kind of echo.
So you have to try not to...
Yeah, which I don't get it because I'm filled with hate. But I try and make it a little bit more like, oh, I'll try and do it. So yeah, ages ago I was like, I'm just going to take some of his...
To start gathering.
Yeah, just some of his yawns.
No,
and then I lost a whole bunch of them because of Final Cut Pro. So it's just... but yeah. Yeah, just get some more sleep, Steve. I guess that's the...
No, I should.
Yeah. Otherwise, more ducks.
Episode 200, confront Steve about his problems.
Yeah. Reignited the beef as well. I mean, yeah, that was 138, I think I said.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
We've been saying for a while we should get interview guests on, but just scheduling...
This is just making me want to yawn.
Our time alone is getting a bit more and more difficult as we're getting busier. No, suicide by toaster... is not that... Is that current? Is that regular? Is that a big suicide killer? People,
I don't know.
Trying to be toast. so for the listeners, right, Steve, there's just many clips of Steve yawning. But do you sleep well?
I sleep. I think I sleep well when I sleep. Maybe I just don't sleep much.
You did. You started to go into fitness. Did you have a fancy watch at some point? One of those fitness watches?
I did, but it's broken.
How fit am I? oh no! Yeah, it's either good news or bad news.
Yeah, no, I don't. I maybe don't sleep enough. Like I think a good night for me is about 6.5 hours.
Oof. Yeah, good night for me is like 12.
Fuck me.
But I've got whole loads of problems.
Yeah, I can't sleep.
I aim for 8 hours at the minimum.
Yeah.
Try to. And then I can function without it, but the average is like, no, if I can sleep for 8 hours, I'm going to sleep for 8 hours.
Yeah.
But I think I read like after 21 or something, 6 hours is fine. But somebody recently told me that no, that's for like over 60s.
Yeah.
Like
I don't think it's true. I think I started aiming for like trying to make sure I get at least 7. But it still just doesn't happen. Like I'll go to sleep and then I'll wake up at like 5:30 and be like, well, I'm awake, like I'm wide awake. I can't get back to sleep.
Yeah, well, you need to work around it, I guess, don't you? So like, yeah, if like the whole thing, if you do wake up early and you're like, I've woken up early, you need to get so exhausted throughout the day, that you're able to crash out at an early time. Yeah, but there is, as time goes on, as getting older, there is a whole feeling of like there's just not enough time in the day, so you need to get some sleep or else. Yeah, who knows? Migrating waterfowl. Yeah, might
just play that really nice, comforting alarm sound again. That'll get me off.
Every time you yawn. Time for a win for our sponsor. Yeah. So yeah, just so you're aware, there's a lot of yawning. That's fine. Yeah. Just as well, I guess like a medical thing. There was a whole thing about. I think a newsreader, a journalist, was presenting the news, and a reader noticed that she had a bump. Turned out to be a tumor. Christ. So just like a random interaction like that. Maybe this is your wake up call. Yeah,
so to speak.
One more. Travellers. Oh. They're all good people. It's just explore your travelling a bit more. Another thing from 2 weeks ago. I've just got some notes.
All right.
Well. I've got this. I'm a single dad. Is what it is.
I think I had to.
When he's talking to other people about doing stuff, that it's like, I'll only do shows that within 20 minutes drive, and then you would pursue that solution. I don't think you'd go straight from disgust to internal combustion.
This is from one episode, by the way.
I've tried to find evidence here and there. He did contact Ronald Reagan. I don't want to do it. I think that's weird. But I haven't found confirmation on whether he was awarded a badge or if he was done anything with it. And that was pretty much the whole article. In other news, same from Stoke, told the court how she and others struggled with Royden and the glass door before pursuing him out of the cathedral into something else. The thief later admitted he was pretending to be a woman so he could marry the imam and steal his money. Unfortunately, she died. To that. The project would carry teachers into space as scientists who would return to their classrooms and share the experience with their students.
Okay, yeah.
But NASA did cancel the program because the first time they did it was the Space Shuttle Challenger.
Oh, no!
So that was the first occurrence of the Teacher in Space program.
Anyone could go to space.
But yeah, that's that one episode. There was like 12 or something. Crazy. I had to edit loads out to keep the length of a song. The idea was maybe make a 10-minute clip.
Yeah.
Throw it up on
10
YouTube.
minutes.
I'm already at 6. And this was over, like, I think 6 episodes, something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was a whole bunch. But then to put him into this context was much shorter. But yeah, I think that was... I like the quick cuts because there's always lots of... Because again, it's yawning at like moments that are vaguely funny / interesting. It's not like you're bored. It's just... Oh, the woman died in the Challenger. So yeah, that's all the yawning that I can fit into an episode without putting the audience completely to sleep. So, no more of that.
I'm not even going to pretend I'm going to try harder. Like... It's just who I am.
I think as well, like, sleep is always a big thing for me. Like, very important. So, like, if I didn't get enough sleep, I'd be like, I'm fucked.
I'll try hard to sleep. I'm just not going to try harder not to yawn.
No. Well, it does. The funny thing is, it's this weird skill to have because it's basically being heckled during a friendly conversation. Like, oh, yeah.
It doesn't mean anything.
Oh, no, I know. It's just a funny thing, especially going back to record. It's like 3 in the morning. I'm like editing, and it's like, yeah. Mock me from the past, will you?
Are you tired? Are you? I'm going to bed.
Thing is, just yawning in general is kind of strange to me. Anyway, enough from yawning and ducks and lullabies. On to some of the news. This week, because I thought we should squeeze some of it in. Safari park baboons have been seen armed with knives, screwdrivers, and a chainsaw. Keepers suspect pranksters are responsible for handing animals weapons so they can damage visitors' cars for a laugh. You think that's funny? Go, Abu. Oh god, yeah, some people giving chainsaws to monkeys for a laugh. Welcome to the pandemic.
No. What?
I'll go through the whole article just to kind of give all the context. Animal keepers at a safari park in Merseyside believe that some visitors are arming baboons with tools like knives, screwdrivers and chainsaws in order to wreak havoc. One mechanic in Sale knows the monkeys all too well. He's got a chainsaw. Got up close and personal with it. Over the car, knows the monkeys all too well and told the paper, I've had 2 customers this year who became victims of these baboons. Prankster baboons. It's got like a screwdriver in his surplex or whatever. Sternum. The kids keep...
Just baboons introing it like the fucking... Like old school Jackass intro.
Down.
Hey, I'm Baboon. This is the knife prank.
The kids keep chirping up, saying they want monkeys all over the car, and then next thing you know, the monkeys have taken like the registration plate and stuff. So kids love monkeys fucking up their parents' cars, basically, and leads to chainsaws. One park worker has been left confused by sightings of baboons wielding weapons, wielding them like being trained. They've learnt the forms of the screwdriver.
They've evolved.
Whether they've been given the weapons or they just simply found them from people's toolboxes. Who keeps a chainsaw in their toolbox? Fills it with petrol. Another worker says these baboons have been found with the knives and screwdrivers. He thinks it's the guests giving it to them. Despite suggestions as to where the baboons had obtained the weapons, the park believes that the tales of animals being armed were nothing more than an urban myth. So I think what the park is saying is that nobody's giving these baboons weapons. That's a myth.
Right.
They have weapons.
No one's giving them to them.
Yeah.
They're just conjuring them.
I didn't give it to them.
Or smelting them themselves.
The safari park reopened its doors on June 15th after the government gave the green light for attractions such as zoos and aquariums and chainsaw-wielding monkey enclosures to begin welcoming visitors again. The 550-acre park argued that because guests do not leave their cars while on safari, the park was just as safe as a McDonald's drive-thru.
Right.
Not
Yeah.
many baboons.
No.
In McDonald's drive-thrus, but fair enough. Let alone with chainsaws and weapons.
Fucking.
They're riding horses. This is how it begins.
I remember I've only been on safari once, and the monkeys did fuck up the car.
I think they're kind of
When I was
expected
kids.
to.
Yeah,
on
they
a lot of
pulled the
levels.
aerial off, and like they ripped all the seal from around the window, and completely fucked the car up. And before you go in, the zoo's like, if anything happens, it's on you.
Yeah, if you might not be protected from act of God, but are you protected from
But that's
act
the thing.
of
Like, what? I
baboon?
guess what do you expect if you drive through a monkey enclosure?
Yeah, there's going to be mischief.
Yeah,
It's going to be people freaking out about stuff.
yeah.
Just need to see what this is.
I like the ones, the videos that you find of people going through and then like a giraffe shoving its head through the window.
I live here.
The kids freaking out.
Yeah.
You don't realise how big a giraffe is.
What was it? There was, I think it was somebody like Adam Buxton, something like that, who told a story about going through. He's a comedian. Went through a safari park, and a baboon went in through the sunroof and sat with his kids in the back.
Oh,
and they didn't notice. So the kids were just like, "This is amazing." It's like, I don't know. It's like taking a selfie with a bison.
Fucking Dunstan checks in.
Yeah.
There was a big craze of making movies about animals for a while, anthropomorphizing them. Yeah, like,
I mean, like the Disney ones, or
it was
like
like Dunstan checks in, and like the Third Look Who's
Garfield.
Talking film was all with dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
And Homeward Bound,
Danny
like
DeVito.
2 of those, maybe a
Roseanne.
third one that wasn't any good. Can't
Yeah.
remember.
There probably was a third one.
Yeah, like just animals are people.
Do you think it was harsh
Are they?
to cast Michael J. Fox in the role of a dog that uncontrollably wags its tail? And then obviously he uncontrollably shakes. It's
Maybe.
like in the hope of, you'll get this role.
Maybe.
Just
Did he
don't
have
stop.
Did he have Parkinson's at that point?
I know it's quite an old film, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
1 and 2 are the same
90s.
people, weren't
Yes.
they? Yeah.
It was Sally Field as the cat, Michael J. Fox as Chance, the
Yeah.
dog, and then the old guy.
Some old guy.
I can't remember him. It was always the same people though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's Sally Fields?
Sally
Rings a
Field.
bell.
So
Tell me about.
she's been in shit tons of stuff. She was the wife in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Thought it was Roseanne.
She
for some
was
reason.
Forrest Grump's mum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm dying for.
Mm.
All right. His mama's sick. Jobs on the boat. There's a lot of life inspiration from Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Has to be said. It's
Yeah.
a great film.
Mother really cares about your schooling, boy.
Jesus Christ. Runs away. It's a good film. Although a lot of people tend to take it as true stories or something like that. And a lot of it is
it's like no, it's just about
yeah,
yeah,
the
it's
whole
just-
thing of you don't know who you're sat next to on a bus stop or whatever.
Mm.
This next article, there's a few things we've done on the podcast. I think there was a moment last week where I think we realised I started ripping on your chilies and how they're doing well now. You
Yeah. They're
growing.
sprung into life.
They've started growing.
Mm.
That's good. But I think we hit a point where I realised, I don't think it is, where it's like my brain goes, oh, so what's wrong? Because you've started to grow chilies.
All right.
And
okay.
the answer is happy people still do happy things,
Yeah.
which isn't something I comprehend
We
very
don't,
well.
we don't have to do something to cheer us up. Like it's just
Yeah, or just like,
do it to maintain the merriment.
I guess it's because my assumption is that happiness will be self-sustaining enough in terms of happiness.
Yeah.
Not that happiness is something that's always fading and needs uplifting, maintenance, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
I think that had a twinge of bias of like, well, your happiness is fading. And I meant there's probably people go, I'm just happy and I just top up my happiness.
Yeah.
But then you would become incredibly happy at one point. Is that the goal? No, I feel like, there's happiness is fleeting, I guess. There's certain longer term happiness, like, my dog brings me happiness.
Yeah.
It's the enjoyment I get from my dog. It doesn't fade over time. But, I used to try and bring a rock in the house to fix happiness, and just haven't
And did
had
that
any
work?
feel to do that, and never did it.
Oh,
I
the dog did it,
abstained.
didn't it?
Yeah, dog did it.
Yeah, we went over that.
Yeah, first thing she did.
Mm.
I'm better than you.
Yeah.
Deal with that. But yeah, I'm trying to. With this article, I had the same reason of like, what kind of tosser does this?
Oh.
But I agree with it, so I think it's just it's the intention going in. Inside a cavernous steel hut in the middle of Glasgow, the sweeping arc of keyboards, lids, and carved panels have been taking shape, creating the UK's first permanent auditorium made entirely out of pianos. Don't make anything out of pianos, you prick.
Make a piano out of a piano.
I think it was like 40 to 80 pianos or something.
Used to make an auditorium.
Yeah, but not like a huge one. Like, the old gardening allotment, big, semicircular. You know, they usually use for growing
like
things
a tunnel.
inside. Yeah, I guess.
Polythene tunnel thing.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Yeah.
You know, you could walk through it. It's something like that size, I think. It
Right.
seats like 80 people, probably a bit taller.
Okay.
But meant to seat about 80 people. And my initial reaction is, like, what kind of tool goes, I'm going to make it out of pianos?
What a waste of pianos.
But I'm all for it. They're recycled pianos.
Okay, so they weren't going to be used
stolen.
for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like broken, damaged,
Yeah.
untunable, whatever.
Okay.
And they're just like using it to make this auditorium, which again is a good idea. If you're, and this is what I knuckled it down to, because I've got to get everything down to ones and zeros. If someone said, hey, do you want to build an auditorium? And you said, well, I'm going to make it out of pianos. You're a knobhead. You're a complete bellend. But if you were like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. I'll look into it. Oh, actually, there's loads of pianos around. Why don't we try and build something out of it?
Yeah.
Then you're all right. It makes sense. It's just the trying to be cool with all your pianos.
Bastard.
Yeah. Using mainly upright instruments with a baby grand. I think all pianos are upright, aren't they? They're not flat.
Yeah, and you don't put them like on their side or...
No. Well, maybe
No.
there is. There's lots of different pianos. With a baby grand artfully sliced in half to make a corner balcony. Just sounds like a toss pot, do you know what I mean? About 40 pianos have been expertly disarticulated, smashed, to create the tiered seating.
Disarticulated. Does that mean they've had the strings taken out or something?
Maybe.
Because that is
There's
like
more to it.
that is a problem. Like I remember someone telling me once that they used to, and like an old piano that can't be tuned anymore, to get rid of it, you have to send a bomb squad in.
Oh, right, yeah, because
Because
the strings are so tight.
There's so much tension that the whole thing would explode into a massive splinters.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. There needs to be special precautions, or you could just put people inside of it and call it an auditorium.
Get in the piano.
Using when you dismantle a piano, you end up with a kit of different parts, from the ornate front pieces to the strong planks normally hidden beneath the key, explains Tom Binns. Well, Tom Binns, you sound like a twat. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
It's just I get the feeling he's a bellend. I'm very sorry, Tom Binns.
Don't do things I couldn't be bothered to do.
No, I would be bothered to do it. I think it just
I would
feels
only
like-
do it if I was miserable.
Yes. If there was trouble, if I was troubled,
Yeah.
I'd do it. All
Yeah.
right, fair enough. That's
Like
brilliant.
just some like weird fucked up version of Lassie. What's wrong, boy? Just like knocking shit together out of pianos. Is it the guy in the well?
the wife. Just working through shit. But I reckon that's what it is. Because I do have a paranoia about happiness, I think. There's definitely a distrust. If somebody's really happy, they're really miserable. Do
Right.
you know what I mean?
Okay.
If someone's walking around the street smiling everywhere,
Yeah.
there's like, something's wrong.
Keep it to yourself.
Well, no, you just go like, it doesn't feel genuine. Maybe it is genuine. And I've said this before.
Like they've been abused. Like there's something not right.
Well, just that it could be genuine. It could be that they've reached their level of happiness. They're very easily happied.
Yeah.
Like they've achieved everything they want to achieve, and everything they wanted to achieve today was to walk around smiling.
Yeah.
All right, great, good for you. But it's a lower level of happiness. On the spectrum of total happiness in the world, that person's maximum is much lower than I think.
Yeah.
So there's a weird distrust around it. So yeah, I get the impression. I think I've always liked the idea of just angrily doing something productive, and you're therefore doing it angrily because you're angry about something. So angrily growing chilies, I'm all for. But just doing it because that would be quite pleasant. I'm just like, I don't get it. Doing like just if I grow these, then maybe everyone will shut up. But again, it's my own issues. I'm well aware of that. It's just that's just my reaction. So yeah, this guy's making pianos into stadiums or whatever.
Excellent.
Yeah, and then it goes on to say, Glasgow has got its problems, including widespread unemployment and a high rate of drug death. But there's been an energy change in Springburn over the last few years. Maybe he's trying to say the more pianos we bring in, the less drug death.
Oh, right.
I don't know.
This is an unexpected solution to our problems.
I didn't think this would fix the drug death, but fair enough. The hut was previously used by the council to store grit. Get that grit out, put in more pianos.
Yeah. Where are we going to put the grit?
Yeah. Why can't you incorporate the grit into the pianos?
Yeah.
Good old grit piano stadium.
Weigh them down.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, so it's probably a very good idea. Probably looks amazing.
Yeah.
Probably is a lovely performing space. But I just feel that the hipsteriness getting in.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
It's just I don't get it. I think it makes things more complicated because you're adding the air of.
It's like when you go to a place and they
false
give you
culture.
a drink and it's in a jar. It's like, why is it in a jar?
Yeah, and you go, if it's in a jar because you don't have anything else, fair enough.
Yeah.
But if it's in a jar because we're making a statement.
Yeah,
You're like,
you
alright.
bought jars instead of buying glasses.
Yeah, and it's like fair enough, but it just the level of importance you place on, like this, the level of importance you place on a piano hut, over helping the drug deaths.
Yeah,
You're like, all right, fair enough, but you can't go around saying that we've done something amazing. But no, I just did something cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, oh well, I came up with the piano idea. Like, all right, fair enough. This seems strange.
you know the one that fucks me off?
What's that?
Like stupid plating in restaurants.
Stupid plates.
Where they're like, oh, it's a massive breakfast. We'll serve it on a shovel.
Yeah.
I've
yeah,
seen
fair
one
enough.
that's like, oh, it's lunchtime. If you order finger sandwiches, they give it to you on a little park bench. I was like, what the fuck is that?
So much confusion.
Just give me a plate.
So much hatred.
Give you a burger and a milk crate.
But again,
I
you
just
go. It's just the stupid look on their face when they bring it to you. They're like,
Right.
Hey, we're special.
right.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you're like, I'm against you. I will break everything in this restaurant.
Yeah.
You've shown me the red flag of small picnic benches for burger. Smash it up. Yeah. Oh, we got one of these.
Oh no.
Time for a word from our sponsors.
Oh no.
There you go, straight into the camera. First time, first read. And 3, 2, go.
Do you suffer from such traumatic life debts as trying to grow chilies on a windowsill? Doctors say there's nothing wrong with it, but doctors are crazy and don't believe in the moon.
Yeah.
Many people struggle with the crushing weight of life's traffic lights, face masks, and overwhelming amount of Frank Turner t-shirts, and deal with it by trying to grow phallic, oily fruits on their windowsills. Well, now there's a solution. Getting hit unexpectedly by a giraffe. Sponsors pulling teeth and will guarantee to at least help a struggling chili pesterer question their life choices.
Unexpectedly. You expected it.
Oh no. All right, well that's the end of that read. I think. Oh no! No, I've got to be on edge.
Don't believe
Maybe
in
this
the
is how
moon.
you stop me yawning. Put me on edge.
Where's the giraffe? You mentioned it in the safari park.
Yeah.
Doctors are crazy and don't believe in the moon. God, we need to get more sponsors. To break it up, we have one of these. I need to find it first. I think it's one of these. Anyway.
Oh. Feel good stories.
Feel good story.
It feels good.
Now, it kind of feels good because it is a feel good story.
Okay.
But it's just funny as well.
Is it about a guy with a sledgehammer in a house full of pianos?
It's how that Glasgow piano concert burnt down, or whatever. No, I thought we covered this before, but it turns out we covered something very similar with the same morals.
Oh, right.
But I don't know why. I guess, like, I think, what do they call them? Obituary, like announcements of like, oh, it's sad to see X, Y, Z pass.
Yeah.
It's always a bit strange, but understandable. You want to, tell the community you're mourning about something. Connie Culp arrived at the Cleveland Clinic in 2004 after her then husband shot her in the face before turning the gun on himself.
Okay. Great.
He survived and was sent to prison for 7 years. He shot himself in the face and survived. Went to prison.
Christ.
In 2008, doctors began a 22-hour procedure to replace 80% of Culp's face. This was the woman who got shot in the face.
And she lived as well.
She lived that experience.
Christ.
Sorry, I did jump to the middle of this article, but she recently passed away. They haven't released why. It's just she's the first like human face transplant person ever. And she's recently passed. Right. They don't really say why. But yeah, she had the surgery, and a few years after the transplant surgery, she met with the family of the woman whose face had been donated to her. That must have been spooky.
Yeah.
But not like I don't want it to come across bad because it's incredible and it's life-saving procedure. But you could tell there was something up. Like it was. She had a fully functioning face by the looks of it, but it was like very damaged, very like blurred, squiggly, like if smudged.
Yeah.
But it's it's someone else's face, and like she got shot in the face. It's going to have different things that are going on. And this is around Christmas time apparently. While the transplant could never return Culp's original looks, it helped her regain senses that had been lost after the shotgun blast. She got shot in the face with a shotgun.
Christ.
The shotgun blast shattered her nose, cheeks, mouth, and eye. Culp said in 2009 that the smell of soap made her realise her new face was working. So she must have lost all senses.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because, it smashed her, shattered her nose, right?
Sorry, it's not funny, but it's a weird way to put it. Like, oh, my face is working.
Yeah. It's kind of a controversial. It is quite a good story in terms of like she recovered from it. I think it's crazy that someone shot their wife in the face. She survived.
Yeah.
He shot himself in the face. He survived.
Yeah.
Now he's in prison.
He's just he's obviously a terrible shot.
Well, there's different ways of doing a shotgun, right? But still in the face.
Yeah.
And that, like, I'm assuming it was quite close. Like, there was a president or a vice president or a presidential candidate that got shot in the face or shot someone in the face.
Oh, it was
one of the Bushes.
What the fuck was his name? The one that did the shooting.
Yeah.
I can't remember who he shot.
Yeah.
It was his friend. They were out hunting ducks or something.
Yeah, so like the
Dick
little
Cheney. Dick Cheney. He did the shooting. I can't remember who he shot.
Yeah, but like because you can load different ammunition into a shotgun depending on what you're shooting.
Yeah,
they're probably using birdshot, which is like
just a
pellets.
Spray of shit.
It's like BBs. It's just like loads of small fragments that are meant to tear through something like a duck.
Yeah.
On a wide spread, so it's easier to shoot.
Yeah.
Whereas and also you get like massive bullets or slugs that are just like nothing can stop. If you got shot in the face with a slug, you'd be dead.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it was something like birdshot or something like that. And so it's like, like it's still intense, understandably survivable, but people die from getting shot in the face with a shotgun.
Oh, yeah.
So like, it's a miracle that one of them survived, let alone both. Or then maybe turning the gun on himself, he did it badly. Because he was committing suicide or whatever. But yeah, the reason... so I'll go on a little bit more. 2 years later, she told Today she could smell again, but only good things like cooking, perfume, and flowers brought to her by her 4-year-old grandson. She said she was able to eat anything, including a good steak, after years of eating soft food. So it is a feel-good story. She's getting through it.
Yeah.
A year before her ex-husband, Thomas, was released from prison, Culp told journalist Diane Sawyer that while she would always love him because they have 2 children together, I just can't be with him anymore.
I recall that. I recall something like that. The one, I think it was the same thing with a woman whose husband hired a hitman.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
And she still had that, I still love him.
Yeah. And it was just like,
what?
And I think that one was like either he hired a hitman or it was him. I think it was a hitman thinking about it, as you say. But like, I mean, love's strange. Love is eternal. even
Yeah.
if you get shot in the face. It just seems crazy. And Culp's remark came months after she told Oprah Winfrey that her daughter Alicia helped her realize she could never take Thomas back. So she was going to take her ex-husband, who shot her in the face with a shotgun, back. And then her daughter talked her out of it. When the daughter asked her, "What kind of example would you set for me if you went back to the man that shot you?" Fair enough question.
Yeah.
Love's crazy. People are crazy. And like, there's a whole other side to the trauma of being shot in the face by your husband.
Yeah.
That, it's not a judgmental thing. It's just another human nature thing of like, there's a lot people will put up with in relationships, including a shotgun to the face.
Yeah.
And like, you don't think about it, but your children can, outside influences can see and be like, this is mental. But I thought it was that case that we talked about before, because her husband hired a hitman.
Yeah.
I think there was other hitman stories, but she was mugged anyway, and she got shot in the face and survived. And
it was a guy that
tried
to steal a handbag or something in the garage. I can't remember what it was. It was something like that.
I did have a look through the notes to see if I could find it. I just didn't have the right keywords. But feel good, pretty good. Love
feels all right.
Nice romance.
Yeah.
That's it for me for stories. If you have any articles this week,
I've got a few.
All right.
Well, to be fair, I've got a few headlines. I didn't really go much into the stories of them.
All right.
A Greek Orthodox priest has said that gay people are caused by pregnant women having anal sex. I always find those things like it's like they always blame like tornadoes on gay people and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, but where's
But you just go like with that one, because there is a weird social bias about homosexuality against men, right?
Yeah.
Because I think there's more hatred sent towards male homosexuals by people like, everybody receives hatred from people with these against homosexuality.
Yeah.
But it does feel like when you think of gay people, the first images of men, because they're hated the most or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a fetishization of female homosexuality.
Yeah.
There's
I
not
think
really
in a
anything.
sense it's actually quite insulting to women, because well, you hate gay people. You don't hate us because you don't take our lifestyle seriously. I think there's an impression that's just like, well, they haven't been turned because they haven't seen the right dick yet, or like that kind of crass kind of attitude.
And that's like a real thing. I've had friends I know people who've tried to convert people from their sexuality. It's like, no, you're just a fucking idiot. But there's there's a whole way the world is viewed by lots of different people. But in this case specifically, it feels like they're targeting gay men, right? Because they're saying the effect is anal sex.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, anal sex isn't as widely spread in the lesbian community as it is with the gay community.
No. Could
be completely wrong. But the guy's an idiot anyway, so he's going to make a more idiotic than expected statement, I guess.
Yeah. Why is it? Well, if it's caused by gay behavior or whatever, why? Does that mean that the same would happen if the pregnant woman sucks a guy's dick?
Yeah.
These things aren't exclusively gay acts.
Well, it's just that nonsense of just cult following behavior. I think of just like you can literally. I think if
I have to come up with a reason as to why I don't like anal sex. Got it.
Right. Even though it wasn't anal sex in one of the Christianities,
sodomy,
like the get out of jail free clause to have sex before marriage. That was a thing, wasn't it?
That seems like something that a guy's made up. Like, it's fine as long as I only fuck you in the arse.
But that was a genuinely a thing, right? Because it doesn't count as losing your virginity.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was.
Right,
was that you could have anal intercourse but not vaginal intercourse, and it would still count.
In the eyes of God.
Yeah, but but there's the whole cult mindset is insane.
Yeah,
and I think again it's a human tradition to follow. Like there's a whole genetic thing built in to follow somebody you believe to be going in the right direction.
Yeah,
but you need to learn. There's points where you have to learn. Like that's the points you have to learn. For it's just a silly thing. Like I think everybody's default state when they're born is that they follow their parents.
Right.
It's probably a default state.
Yeah.
But at some point, you have to realize your parents are people.
Yeah.
and no sometimes. It's a natural thing. Sadly, it's sometimes that happens very young, where they do something that you can't understand or forgive, so you kind of go, nope, not following them anymore.
Yeah.
But even if you have the most healthy, well-rounded childhood or whatever, you still get to a point you go, yeah, no, I think you do that, I'll do this.
Yeah.
And there's a point where you have to break off.
Yeah.
Where from following blindly. Yeah, I think blind following is the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a point where that bridge crosses. So I think it's natural. So there are people, charismatic people. I mean, there's a stupid thing about men and women where, the whole idea of women batting their eyelashes and men following. I think that's a real thing. I'm not saying that it's a negative thing. It's a natural thing. But there's effects that people have on other people that you have to be aware of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what is it? There's an old Lee Evans bit about if his wife asked him to do something in a sexy voice, he'd be like, fucking right, love.
Yeah.
And to get really into it, it's like, well, you could just do that to clean the garage.
Yeah.
Clean the garage. You'd be like, fucking hell, go and do it. There's an element of that to communication, I think, to people. And then, people take advantage of it with cults.
Yeah. Because I think that's like sort of an old kind of lizard brain instinctive thing for men, which is like, I can see a route here to me having sex. Yeah. I've solved the puzzle. I just need to act it out.
Could also be a mothering thing. Could also be, there's loads of different things it could be, of just like, even if it was food. Yeah. Just like like if someone offered, if you invited you around, you'd be like, nah, and they're like, well, I've got food. You might be, I'll come around for food. Non-sexual. Just like, I've got food. But I do need food, so I'll come around. There's a whole thing of people will follow because it's a natural thing, and there's just ways of doing it really dodgily. And cults are just, if you speak to somebody who really believes something, there's just no getting out of it. No. And it's that same thing of they've convinced themselves, and they're so mentally invested in something that it's just like, I mean, like, I don't know, fans of, pick a generic band, Frank Turner. Right. I haven't really exposed myself to Frank Turner. I think I tried a little bit once, but haven't really.
I can't imagine it'd be your thing.
I've got it's quite indie, is it?
It's sort of folk punk.
So I'm a big fan of folk. I listen to a lot of folk. Yeah. So it's like, it's not something that's been like outside the reaches, but if you speak to somebody who's like, oh no, Frank Turner's the best band in the world, you'd be like, oh, have you thought about this? Yeah, but they're not as good as Frank Turner. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It can be anything, but it's just, but you get into
I always think that's a stupid thing. I think it's sort of
you and Rice.
What about
don't understand it, mate.
What?
But it's that you got that cult of Rice, haven't you?
I don't know.
Simple example. Yeah, it's a simple thing. It's something I noticed. You tend to, I think with food especially, I think there's an unwritten war going on between the two of us. Right? Okay. I think you've started it, and I think you're all, I don't know. Right, but there was a whole thing of like, I cooked a lot of rice. Yeah. And I remember once you cooked rice, and I season the rice in the pot. Yeah. Right, is what I do. So that the rice has got all the flavours and nutrients in it. Yeah. But then after you've boiled the rice, you'll then wash all the stuff off the rice, which could be a normal thing. Usually it's done to like wash the starch off, right? Yeah, yeah. But you usually do that before you cook the rice so that you can season the rice. Yeah, I wash it. I'm trying to think. I think I only wash it after if I haven't washed it before. Typically, I do the whole run water over it till it runs clear. Like that thing. Yeah, to get all the dust, etc. kind of off of it. Yeah. But I'm not bringing that up to be like you and your. Well, I am. Right. You and your rice. But like even when it comes to something as small as cooking, they'd be like, this is how it's done. Yeah, you've got your own way of doing things. I think. Yeah, and I think you get that heavily invested into it that to question it becomes difficult sometimes. Yeah, I think the band thing is weird, which is like, oh, they're the best band in the world. It's like, what's wrong with saying they're my favourite band? Yeah. Like, what about that statement is inferior? I guess that's that weird mental box you put yourself in. Like, they connected to me. Like, because that's unquestionable. Yeah, yeah. Like, but you don't have to have an argument about who's the best. Well, James Acaster's doing that at the moment, isn't he? I think that's one of his shticks. Is like, I think like there's a certain year, I think it's 1990 or something, was the best year ever for music. Right. And he's made it a point to prove that. He's got a whole podcast around it or something. Okay. James Acaster's cool though. He's funny. So he's doing it just to be silly, I think. But he probably believes in it very heavily. Yeah. But yeah, the cult mindset isn't necessarily the big stadium drinking punch and going up to space. Yeah. You go, it's the same with music and art and cooking and whatever. So it's a weird thing that to believe. And I think that, oh, it must be the anal sex, and people go, oh yeah, it must be the anal sex. What? So you question it from the outside. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Apparently, I learned this recently. Jesus. Right, I always thought Christians believed in the Old Testament and Jewish people believe in the New Testament.
No, other way around.
Other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jewish people believe in the Old Testament and Christians in the New. Apparently, Christians believe in both.
I'll pick a side.
But apparently, I think this is a somewhat reputable source. Apparently, it's just in the Old Testament, there was the belief that the Messiah would come.
Yeah.
And the Christians are the people who believed Jesus to be the Messiah.
Right.
And the Jewish people are still waiting for the Messiah.
Yeah.
I think that's basically it.
Right, okay.
So they were like, the Messiah has arrived. And some people were like, Jesus isn't my Messiah. So they remained Jewish people.
Yeah.
Waiting for and the New Testament is when the Messiah arrived. This is what he did.
Right.
So it's a kind of thing. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting little tidbit. So, Christians also believe in the murdering of the firstborn, which is always the weird little loophole I see whenever I think about religion, Christianity and Judaism specifically. Is like, so it was cool just to kill the firstborn. Oh, well, they didn't believe. It's just okay to kill the firstborn of the non-believers.
Yeah.
Like, you dress it up as like, we're a bishop and we have a hat.
Like,
and
the
anal sex gays.
But abortion is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is that weird, and locusts. Locusts I can understand, but toads from the sky. It becomes in that little bit we go, it's mythology, right? And then obviously everyone goes, it's a story for the more, was it like a fable or
an allegory? Is it
something
like that kind of thing?
But Christians believe in both books. It's something that I learned. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, so these bloody pregnant women having anal sex and giving birth to the gays.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Stop.
If you want to be Christians.
Yeah.
Or those specific Christians.
Yeah. Not judging.
Yeah. They are.
Officials at the Pentagon have requested an extra nuke in case they fire off the old one by mistake.
You just have one. I want two. You can only have one.
Yeah. But what if I lose it?
What if I send it to Canada?
Yeah.
Well, you can't be trusted with
candy and nuts.
Want to spare one? Just like, well, then you can't be trusted with nukes if you accidentally lose one. So no, you can't have two.
Yeah. They set it off by mistake. Yeah. Like you have to. There's quite a few stages to setting off a nuke. It's not just I leant on the button,
dropped your phone. Yeah. Oh, God.
I got soup on it.
No. Well, the whole thing's meant to be getting rid of them, right? That's the whole idea.
Yeah.
At the moment, is to try and, what do they call it, de-escalate, or it's called something, to try and remove nukes from people. And everyone's like, well, I'll remove them when they remove them. What if they don't remove them? I'm keeping them. It's that kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, like the world's in a constant state of Cold War. It's kind of better that way. Like you have to match the firepower of your enemies, at least. Otherwise, they've got an advantage. But it's the fact that you've matched it that keeps the peace. Yeah,
but then you kind of go, I think we're evolving into like a bit more of a planet. But then China's invading India and Russia's being Russia.
Yeah. Oh, Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a weird Google because I was interested, because I think the perception of the world is really specifically American. You know what I mean? Like, if you were to view the world through if you were to ask, name some ethnic minorities, they wouldn't be global minorities. There'd be minorities in America.
Yeah.
So like, Asians a minority. You're like, Asia makes up like 60% of the world. That's the majority.
Yeah.
Because I was just curious, because the Wikipedia hasn't got like by race, but they've got by region or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think it was something along the lines of 30% of the world is white.
Yeah.
And then I think 40% of the world is, and it's always a weird one, because it's like, well, let's say Africa. Yeah. Africa's like 15 or something like that. It's a percentage of the world.
Yeah.
And you go, you couldn't argue that all people from Africa are of a certain race, because it's kind of like Middle East as well. And
as a whole thing.
But if you just to cut up by country, you go like, we're like maximum. Europe, I think, is 15%. And you go, it's not very much. I think America's 15%.
Yeah.
So just go like, it's just not we are so small, but we see the world through a very specific lens.
Yeah.
And you just kind of forget that 60% of the entire world is Asian.
Well, the thing I found interesting was I listened to a conversation by a guy from, I think he was from Nigeria, and he said the thing that's funny is that like black people in America or just people in America as a whole think that us kind of black people over here in Africa and everything look upon them and have a degree of solidarity because of the color of our skin and everything, and when it's actually like, no, we see them as stupid Americans.
Same as
like, the same as like
Italian Americans and Irish Americans. The
same as like we as white English people see like Dutch people, like we don't have a solidarity with them because of the color of their skin. It's like, you're Dutch, we're English.
I think I've always been interested by the the self-identification or the identification of Americans being like, I'm Italian American, I'm this and that, because it can very well be true, because like if you're brought up by Italians and you're in America, you're obviously going to have that kind of relationship and experience of culture. But the amount of times that it's like third removed, my great aunt, my grandma, and you go, I don't want to take anything away from you, but it seems like quite an American thing to plant a flag and be like, I'm a quarter Irish, an eighth Canadian. It's like, you're just American. Yeah, and even then, you are American. Wherever you're born, wherever you were raised, that's who you are, like, and you've got offsets.
I'm a quarter Scottish. I don't identify as being Scottish at all.
But then, say you spent, a quarter Scottish, that would be like a grandfather and grandmother that are Scottish?
Yeah.
So, like, do you see them often? Or did you see them often?
Often enough. They were local.
Yeah, so like say you had what's the Scottish ritual big one every year?
Can't remember. Hogmanay.
No, there's another one like I think before where I think loads of my friends would get kilted and go to a
Burns
thing.
Night.
Maybe it's Burns Night. Yeah, I think it's Burns Night. Say you went to a load of those different type of traditionally Scottish events, and that was a big part of your life.
Yeah,
you may identify more Scottish. Than you do.
But I'm still English. I'm just English.
And but the same thing that I identify as a metalhead. Yeah, you just go like, well, you're going to Burns Night. I'll go to this gig. Yeah, it's not a big flag for you to wave. No. It's be like, well, this is my identity. You go, it's a part of your identity. Yeah. Everyone's got complex parts of their identity. Doesn't have to be, well, because my grandmother was a Holocaust denier, I guess I'm 1/8 Holocaust denier. You're like, no, it's just there's more to you than that. But then people put themselves, people without personality will grab at whatever. Yeah. And it's a weird kind of talking point, especially in America, right? They're like, whereabouts in the States are you from? They're like, if you watch a reality TV show in America, oh, this is Toby from Ohio. I don't care where he's from. Yeah. But that's an English that I think we hate, what was that whole, the 100 worst cities in England? Yeah. And they had to rewrite it because people were complaining that their city wasn't in it. It wasn't like our city's great. It was like no, our shit towns should be in there as well.
Come on, represent.
Care. Yeah, so there's not as much national representation of areas. Yeah, so I think it's a kind of a cultural thing over there. Is like I'm from not the Midlands. What's it, Minnesota? I'm from Minnesota, so deers and deer disease or something. It's a weird. That's part of their culture is identifying areas, I guess. Yeah, territory or whatever. Anyway, I do apologise. Interrupted.
No, all good.
Yeah, so 60% of the world is Asians. Be careful. I guess that's what I'm saying. It's just when you think about it, it's the same thing with there's only 17 million Jews in the world. Yeah. You go, if you were to look at it from the Hollywood lens, it'd be many, many more. But if you just look at the cold, hard facts of there's 17 million Jewish people in the world, why do people hate Jewish people? I don't understand. Yeah. And then, if there's like, fight the white guy. It's like, sure, in that area, but that's one of the few areas where you fight against the power of the white guy. Yeah. Or whatever it is. It's just an interesting thing to like change your perspective to look on a global scale. So I think there is still very much infighting. So Cold War will still attack each other because we haven't realised that Asia is the bigger issue. Yeah, we still look at things through a territorial, local lens rather than a global lens, I guess. One day. Yeah.
A goat in India has been arrested for not wearing a face mask.
Bloody Asia. 60% arrested.
Taken away by police. Just wandering through the street.
Well, he's not wearing a face mask.
Yeah. They called the farmer. We're like, we've got your goat. Like, why?
Give it back.
Yeah, he wasn't wearing a mask. Like going out into his field frantically putting face masks on all his fucking shit.
Before they all get taken away.
Yeah. And last of the headlines, a Florida man fires warning shots in a hotel lobby because people weren't social distancing.
Get out the way!
Yeah. You are now.
Scatter. They're not scattering. Bang! They're scattering now.
Yeah. Now I feel safe.
Yeah, the whole gun thing is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I was trying to think, because the whole reason, I think the question is asked is like, why don't you get rid of your guns?
Yeah.
And the answer is no, because other people have guns. Same as the Cold War, right?
Yeah.
Or the de-escalation or whatever.
Well, they say that the Second Amendment is
Nuclear
there to
somewhere.
protect you, to protect the First, or something like that.
Yeah, to protect
Like it's to stop from
against the government.
government tyranny, to ensure that
Yeah.
you've got the right to free expression and free speech.
So then if you were to ask the question, and this is where my brain goes, but this is why I get in loads of weird arguments that I don't defend or whatever, it gets confusing, is you go, okay, well, what if the government, what if everybody got rid of guns? Well, that wouldn't happen. Yeah, no, but what if everybody got rid of guns? Would you get rid of guns then? Do you think guns should not be... Yeah, but the government hasn't got guns either. No guns in the government. Everyone's got, ping pong balls.
Yeah.
You can have a ping pong ball.
Yeah.
Don't choke on a ping pong ball.
Yeah.
You can't kill a high school with a ping
I
pong
know
ball.
it's just like a hypothetical, but to do that, you'd have to be like, well, nobody's going to hunt anymore.
Sure, use bow and arrow. You can have bows and arrows.
Yeah.
Oh, but what if you get a really skilled, but great? Use them in the military.
Yeah.
You need more bow and arrow people in the military. But there's I think that it's gone too far and there's too many guns. So try to get rid of guns is really the bigger issue. There's just too many. So what are you going to do now? Not what is the answer. It's like no, because everyone agrees the answer would be, I think, no guns.
Yeah.
Because I think if no guns meant less school shootings, brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you go, then it becomes a bit more complex. You go like, oh yeah, I think, and then it's a case of do we work towards less guns, and then that becomes the complicated issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goats.
All right. Well, it's been. I didn't have the facility to do this when we were doing like over Zoom or whatever the fuck we were using.
Yeah.
Teams.
Yeah.
So this is the first one of these in a while.
Steve's collection of useless meanderings. Scum.
During the siege of Megara in 266 BC, in lieu of boring modern weapons like tanks, pigs were coated in resin, set ablaze, and sent careening towards war elephants. War elephants don't like pigs.
Especially when they're on fire.
Or fire. And would proceed to stampede across the battlefield, crushing everything in sight. Just destroyed. Oh, and that was,
Pig fan.
Yeah.
just
How do you navigate an on fire pig?
well, they tried it initially without setting them on fire.
Go on, then.
And they just
freak them out.
Yeah, and they're just like, well, they're wild pigs. They would just like attack everything that they saw.
Right.
It didn't work, and then they would flee. But once you set them on fire and kind of point them in the direction, they just run.
Their natural thing is to go straight to an elephant.
Well, they just point them towards the elephants. The elephants freak the fuck out. Like war was like I think like our kind of wars are much more of a marathon. Just beat you down like. And like much more kind of tactical, some horrific shit going on, but it's more like just who can last the longest. With those ones, it's just chaos, like absolute chaos.
Send in the pigs.
Sending the pigs to take out the elephants. Apparently that like the elephants are just bothered about squealing pigs in general. So like there was another one where there was like an elephant, a single war elephant was approaching a castle wall, and they hung a pig over the side of the wall and squealing at the elephant, and that freaked it out as well.
Just like Monday. I think it's called a war of attrition. Now it's like who runs out of supplies. First, which was obviously going on for since all wars, but it feels like if you've got pigs to burn and throw and lead.
Yeah.
towards battle. You go like, it's all or nothing now.
Yeah.
Let's use the pigs.
Yeah. I think like I used to play like a little bit of Warhammer, and I was orcs, and they had these things called squigs, which were just red monstrous things, and little goblins hanging onto the back of them trying to control them. And you would just throw dice, and these things would just go fucking anywhere. They were devastating, but like it's the same kind of thing. It's just like, just release the fiery pigs. Like, let's see what happens.
Well, do you know there's I mentioned it before, but a YouTube channel I watch sometimes is called Lindy Beige, which is like it's almost like a history lesson.
Right.
As in, like, he just talks about his history stuff. He has a big thing about flaming arrows just don't exist. They've never existed.
Oh.
It doesn't work. It would never work. And just, have you ever blown out a candle? Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't work. So like all these, like, you think of like medieval, like throwing big fiery things.
Yeah.
And you go, it wouldn't really be that useful. You go, oh, what if you were sieging a castle? You throw big fiery boulders into the castle, right? Set fire to the thatch indoors. You're like,
Yeah.
well, the castle would see that and would just put mud on their roofs, and then their roofs wouldn't be flammable. So
Yeah.
it'd be a big waste of time.
Yeah.
So like, I think there's loads of historic battles that we have in our mind of like all the crazy contraptions, pouring oil and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That it's nice to know that I think they probably would go, well, we can't use fiery arrows.
Yeah.
Have you tried fiery pigs? We could throw fiery pigs. I mean, we've got loads of food.
Yeah.
We can get more food.
Yeah.
They're over there. Throw the pigs. Throw in the pigs.
Yeah. Yeah.
It probably is as simple as
The
that.
pigs
It's
can't
like-
run fast enough to put themselves out like an arrow
Yeah.
would.
But then, like, how long would they live when they're on fire? But then you go, well, maybe if they're close enough.
Yeah.
But you just go like, it's nice to think that, yeah, fiery arrows make sense in your. I mean, I don't know why it makes sense in your brain. You're like, more fire does more damage. Like,
Yeah.
no, arrow going through you doesn't
Yeah.
matter if it's on. As soon as it goes in you, it's not on fire anymore.
Yeah. No.
So it's an arrow,
If
mate.
it is, it cauterizes the wound.
Yeah.
You probably have a better chance of surviving.
So it's just like, no, fiery arrows, no. And you
Yeah,
go like, but
burns
the
off all
idea
the
makes sense in your
germs.
mind, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So you go, well, the guy who tried it, because they probably tried it.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, we can't do that, so we have to resort to the pigs. Let's try that out, see what happens. So very, very believable that it was tried. I completely believe
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like this. Maybe it was like a really bad salesman, but you just had a lot of extra pigs.
Yeah.
You know, these are war pigs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're happy to be set on fire and thrown at elephants. Oh, just trying to offload a load of pigs.
Yeah. Ever the eccentric problem solvers, the Japanese found a novel solution to helping deaf people escape from fires by creating fire alarms that spray wasabi into the air.
So you can smell wasabi and assume everything's on fire.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Now they're deaf and blind.
And they get very anxious in wasabi restaurants.
Yeah. Don't go for sushi.
Fire! Fire! No.
No.
Just the seaweed wrap.
Unagi.
And just like, yeah, there's just, you know, baby cots and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a sleeping baby on fire covered in wasabi. Oh,
Oh god.
that's not going to scare an elephant.
Yeah.
Going to do that. Yeah. It's a novel idea, I guess. But
Well, it makes
the
sense.
smoke. You
Yeah.
can smell smoke.
Right.
The wasabi's not going to add anything.
No.
Smoke.
No.
And I can feel heat. I guess there's a fire.
Yeah. Well, why not visual? Why not visual? Like,
Yeah.
like deaf people's
light.
phones, they light up.
Yeah.
Like,
And vibrate.
just flash the lights on.
Just
and
send them a text. They can read.
off. You're on fire. Oh,
I better leave. Got a weird craving for wasabi for some reason.
vomiting often brings great relief for ill, drunk, and bulimic people alike. And in the animal kingdom, the same applies. But for sharks, vomiting is a very serious affair, during which they turn their entire stomach inside out, expelling it from their mouths. This is called stomach eversion, and sometimes the shark can't get their stomach back in them again, and they die.
All my stomach's out.
It's caught. They just can't.
Just caught in a ring pull for a 6-pack of 7-Up.
Yeah. I mean, they do it to get rid of shit that they can't digest, rocks and bones and like weird things, but just their entire stomach comes out of their mouth.
Yeah, but then I think they've got like it might not be, like for us it's like big, like a organ coming through a narrow neck. I think they're probably more equipped. They have like quite big jaws, and like I think they're probably not hollow, but like they're larger inside, whatever. So maybe they can do it with a bit more ease, but it doesn't feel good.
No,
but I think that's a human nature thing to not have your stomach outside.
Yeah. Oh, that looks sore.
You look a bit peaky. I'm shocked.
While dolphins are sometimes known as the clowns of the sea, beluga whales could be called the piss-taking twats of the sea, as they have been known to cause divers to surface early by copying their speech and mimicking the command to surface.
Beluga whales have started to learn.
Yeah.
Planet of the beluga whales.
Watch this. Dive. Well, there he goes. What a moron.
Yeah, loser. Yeah. Didn't have his oxygen tank on.
Yeah.
Twat.
I'm gonna follow him now and tell him to surface. We do this all day.
Your wife's cheating on you. Look at him. Look at him. You can see the exact moment his heart breaks. Yeah, like a bucket of plankton. Watching TV.
Yeah, apparently, like similar to like parrots and stuff, they can mimic voices. They don't know what it means,
Christ.
but like,
well, you have that. There's like a bird that mimics like all sounds, like car alarms and
yeah,
human sounds. You go like, how the fuck can you do that? And they're just doing it because they're trying to show off whatever things they can do.
yeah.
Yeah, they're not conscious of it, I guess.
No, they don't know what it is.
But I think they've got lips, so it's just like they're just making that noise.
Yeah,
Which is why they don't do words. But beluga whales probably do have lips.
I don't think they do.
But they speak perfect English.
Oh. Have you ever watched those the videos of walruses making different sounds?
No.
They can whistle. It's really haunting. Like they properly purse their lips and like.
Oh right, yeah. I think I might have seen that.
Like it's weird. It's like if you heard that in the fog, you're like, what the
What's
fuck
that?
is that?
The walrus have found us. They're in a great mood. Along come the walrus.
Yeah.
Well,
Just,
mermaids.
like, properly like purse their lips. It's like there's something really oddly human about it.
I reckon like now you kind of go, because it was probably captured on film, that it's more believable and it's more like, okay, and it makes sense. You know,
Yeah.
we can do it. We're just animals. Probably makes sense that other animals somewhere can do it.
Yeah.
But like back before video, they would just be put down to, well, walruses don't whistle. There must have been something else.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot there was this whole thing I need to write down ideas that happen. I really want to explore the whole mermaid thing.
All right.
Because I find that so true to human, or at least male nature.
Yeah.
Is like, I'll crash my boat into this rock because I think there's a woman on it. And it's just like this whole, I like the whole idea of, you know, the men are controlling things for their benefit. And it's going, yeah, but mermaids, right?
Yeah.
Like, she's half fish, but fuck it. I've been on this boat for too long. Not enough women. And it's just like, who do you think's really pulling the strings in that situation? Oh, yeah. It's just, well, it's a whole complex thing, but I just find that as a really funny example of my interpretation of the male psyche. It's just like, everybody's stupid. And women do have the same thing, like in different ways. But it's the pirates just, I think I can hear women out there. Dave, it's the open ocean. There's no one out there. No, there's someone out there. It's just a walrus whistle. I think it's a woman. I'm not going to stand in your way, Dave. Believe it. Romance all the way. Dives into the ocean. Gets murdered by walrus.
Yeah.
And mocked by a beluga whale. Oh, I thought it was a woman.
Oh, mermaid.
Dave sinks to the ocean.
And finally, during a light-hearted... it's episode 200, so we have to... Yeah. During a light-hearted dinner at the dictator's crib, Saddam Hussein amused all of his guests by putting Tabasco in their cofters and making them think he'd poison them.
Yeah, he wasn't that bad. No, man. That's the human side.
There's a certain amount of like self-awareness there.
Yeah. They probably think I'm going to poison them. Let's make them think I'm going to poison. Let's poison them, but not to death.
Yeah.
Good old Saddam Hussein.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was Steve's collection of useless meanderings. Scum.
I never play the end one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I can try and figure out a new graphic for it now as well.
Oh, yeah.
Just like that was.
And then the same graphic.
Figure it out. Yeah. But yeah, episode 200.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fair enough, a landmark. And apparently strawberries aren't berries.
Oh, they're not.
Strawberries are fruits.
Excellent.
Yeah. But bananas are apparently berries. I think it's vegetables are roots or shoots or leaves.
Okay.
And then fruits are
Not.
Basically picked from. Not parts of plants.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
But yeah, see what goes on with pulling teeth onwards. I think there's still more to come. You're enjoying it despite the yawning, so that's good.
Yeah. To be fair, I think since I've been confronted by the matter, it's been a while since I've yawned.
Since you were watching yourself yawning and yawning.
I think it was the ducks that did it.
Just the threat of the unexpected giraffe. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Keep you on your toes. The giraffe comes through the window.
Constantly alert.
But yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So I think the show's probably going to stay the same. I like the format.
Yeah.
Basic catch-up, news, funny articles. Yeah. Just might try and do promotional things.
Just shoehorn other bits in. Yeah, that's
we've
good.
done segments where segments are, pig facts, songs, all that kind of bits. But yeah, if you want to follow us on social media, I am at Nick Snip.
I'm at Sing It Steve.
Jesus Christ.
All right. Warm, innit?
Yeah, maybe we should move to the back. Or I should start wearing a cool down jacket or something. We are at Pulling Teeth Pod on Twitter and Instagram and at Pulling Teeth Podcast on Facebook.
Yeah. You can find all the things everywhere at pullingteethpodcast.com, including an Amazon banner. Where if you're going to make a purchase on Amazon, just go to our website, click through the banner, make your purchase as usual. Doesn't cost you anything more. There's no pressure to buy anything or anything like that. But if you're gonna, just do that, and it gives us a little bit of a kickback. Yeah, we're interested to see how it works. Really, it's a free way for you to support the podcast. Yeah. And then, there's contact, all our information. There's a contact form as well. If you want to email us directly, it's wisdom@pullingteethpodcast.com as well. If you want to send us an email. And subscribe to us on YouTube if you're listening to us. If you're watching us on YouTube, find us on Spotify and iTunes and Podbean. And fucking warm. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's us. That was episode 200. Episode 200, yeah. So, be safe and carry on. Yeah. Just remember that Saddam wasn't that bad a person. No. And draft! I was wondering when it was coming.